No, she pulled on. That's the reason I was asking.
Or something?
I'm on a different branch actually. Let me just go through the syllabus.
Okay. Okay, try it out. Once try it out.
Register, you said.
Which branch
Yes.
are you in?
You take a look at that one. It's gonna take a while if I switch the branch because then it's gonna change the
I
path
think
bike.
the branch is already installed. You didn't take it out from the profile.
Okay, so
Earlier today, but not now, yes.
Yeah, earlier today.
guys, so this is our final class, and I think we did a good job getting a lot of people to, write an app. The results so far look extremely good, I think. So today we're going to just finish up looking at the remaining apps and running them on the screen, hopefully. Oh, this team. I think they're still trying to push some stuff. So unfortunately, we'll have to go without. Oh, Priya is here. Your other team members are still pushing stuff?
Yeah. They're in Heafy.
Huh?
They're in Heafy right now.
Okay. Yeah, because I was fixing some of your bugs earlier with Yuanja. Okay. No worries. All right. Who wants to go? Huh? Who wants to? You guys? Oh, fantastic.
That's how the.
You don't want to check the words?
Yeah, that's how.
Yeah.
Everyone, so for our app, we didn't actually make like a normal app like everyone else. We decided to make a game because I thought that would be a little bit more fun. So we talked about it, and we kind of wanted to got some inspiration from like a popular party/board game called Mafia. If anyone's heard of that, sometimes they're called like. And this is like a few variations of the game, but essentially, you know, you're a group. There's a group of people. A few of them are like killers or mafia and stuff, and then the rest are innocent people. And you're trying to figure out who the bad people are. These are go back. Yeah, these were kind of like some initial designs for our app, just like doing our Figma like mock-up stuff, and yeah. So a few features to go over that we'll showcase in the demo. Just like authentication, sign up. We ended up choosing like landscape only to like because it just felt nicer with the controls and stuff, and there's like a lot of reading. There's an animated splash screen, some more buttons, music, voting system. So a lot of the bulk of our programming and time was spent here, which
What does WIP mean?
Work in progress, UI only. Yeah, because a lot of the back-end AI stuff that we implemented, that took a lot of time to figure out. So I'll let him talk about that.
Alright. Actually, I wanted to take this a little different. I think I thought that we would come to the back end a little later after we saw the UI, but that's fine. I'll just start off. So this is how the game works basically. There are 3 different characters that you can be, and there's us as the investigator. So the 3 different characters are villager, doctor, and killer. So sorry, I'll just switch over here. Sorry. Yeah. So I created a entire flowchart of how the things work, and basically the game starts, and you decide how many number of villagers, doctor, and killer you can have, and then all of these are handled by in real time handled by an AI agent, which has specific prompts on how to act entire game. And if there's a killer, it would be like act suspiciously, point fingers at somebody else, don't take the blame on yourself. And then villager is supposed to like just play along with the game, see who is acting a little suspicious. And doctor is basically somebody who can save the person. So there are 2 different modes over here. There's a day mode, a daytime mode, and a nighttime mode. So during the daytime, everybody discusses, everybody puts in their opinion, again, which are done in real time as you prompt them, like, what do you think, is this person the killer or not? And we have the ability to prompt them into a certain direction, but then finally they make their own decisions. And then at the end of the day, again, these particular agents that I'm talking about, they vote for themselves. We have no hand in what they are voting towards, and we get to vote on who is the killer. And then during the nighttime phase, what happens is killer is able to pick a person to kill, and doctor is able to pick a person to save. And basically, this investigator feature is basically us just doing all the job. So if you want, I can go into a little more detail, but basically all the voting happens on the basis of all the agents giving each other the relevant score or the suspicion score. And this is all managed real time in the backend. I know it is getting a little complicated, but I think it will be much more understandable once we go towards the actual game, right? So yeah, this is just the introduction, and this is the majority of the part that I was able to.
I think we should just demo now.
Yeah,
you can demo it.
Yeah, we could demo right now, and I think that would be a little more helpful. Do you want to read it? Yeah. Yeah. This is the functionality which is being handled by Firebase Firestore in the backend.
That's okay.
So this is integrated, right?
This is integrated, yeah. And so you get a profile page where basically you as an investigator also have like how many wins or losses you have, but I think Rachit and Piyush can take it from there.
So in the profile page, you can see the amount of games you've won and lost. And the home screen is pretty simple. You just have settings and play button. And when we click play, we've taken to the info on what has happened. There's been a killing in the cabins in the woods, and we are here to investigate.
So this text is coming from the AI?
This is not. This is something that is like a narrator kind of thing. Do you have the backend?
So it's always going to say there's a killing in the woods?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's just like the premise of the story where it starts off.
It's always the same story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But the what the characters say is different every time based on like, you know, who the killer actually is and like what you prompt like the characters say like, hey, what were you doing last night, etc., and they will respond accordingly. Did you open up the menu?
Something didn't work on Android or?
No, it does work on Android as well. I think it's an issue.
At the back end, let me just restart it.
So did you use cloud functions?
What?
Did you use cloud functions?
Cloud functions? No, this is majorly more like an OpenAI Llama Index kind of integrations. So these are like directly you reach out to OpenAI, create like your own functions, agents out of them, which are based on like they get the entire premise of the game, and then they get their specific prompt. So what we are doing right now is, as we mentioned, there are like daytime and nighttime cycles. So they have like context only for, just to make it simpler, they have context for only one day. And then as soon as you move to night, the next day context is basically what the relevant score that they are maintaining, whatever the suspicion score that they are maintaining.
Okay, but you said, is it OpenAI or Llama Index?
It's OpenAI through Llama Index. So Llama Index makes it easier to make like all of these kind of agents and then cycle them together so that
But the LLM is OpenAI.
OpenAI, yes.
So you're paying for the...
We are like, we tried with a bigger model as well, like GPT-4 and all of those, so they don't cost
Is this
that.
3.5?
I like right now for the demo we are using 3.5, yes.
And it doesn't cost much anyway.
I think even for like hundreds or 200 calls, it goes up to like $0.5 or like $1 max, so yes, why?
So once we get the intro screen, we have explicitly mentioned in our settings that we have 5 characters and one of them is a killer. So as you can see, there's a prompt screen that you can give, ask the people over here that what has happened, someone died. We just type in, do you have any suspicions on anyone? You can technically write anything, but like we are trying to find the killer.
But am I one of them?
No, we are not one of them. We are the investigator.
These are the 5 people who are part of the game. We could add.
They are
like,
suspects basically.
So the person typing is the investigator,
Yeah, we are
but
the
he's not one
investigator.
of those people.
Yes.
Yeah, so we are asking them questions or leading them to having like suspicions on someone. We'll get the information out of them.
So I don't know everybody saw the prompt, but I basically tried to put the blame on Val, and right now it's taking a little bit of time,
Yeah.
but
There you go.
so Val is trying to push the blame on Morgan Shore, who's basically like saying that they have been keeping to themselves, and also Kelly Stone has been interacting between, and then Kelly Stone would revert back to what Val has said, keep that context in the mind, and then proceed on the basis of that.
So they are now just, these prompts are coming?
So they are just interacting with each other, and they had the context of what the last person said, what I said, and then they would respond on the basis of that.
Yeah, so each consecutive person thinks on the other
But
person's
did you-
response.
In order to see that prompt, did you click on that person?
No,
Or it
we just
came
click
automatic-
anywhere. We have a
So right now it's a little more sequential. That's what we tried right now, but we could make it like asynchronous as well. So it's sequential as in so to maintain context. So let's just say first Val is going. I ask question from Val, and on the basis of whatever Val and I said, Kelly would say something else on the basis of that, something like that. So it's right now it's like in a order, but then you can make it cyclical or like.
But basically, you prompted it, you accused Val.
Yeah.
Val put something on the screen.
Yeah.
Before you touched anything, Kelly put
No,
something
I think
on.
we're pressing a button right
Oh, you are pressing it.
Yeah. We can make it like asynchronous, put like just a delay in it, and that would be fine. But then it was like much easier if you used it on a phone that you tap through all the response and read
But
them.
in order to do that, you have to change a feature on the person to say that they have something to say. So you have to interact with the person's body somewhere or
Yes.
face to get that out, what they are trying to say. Like make a speech bubble in front of their head.
Originally, like in the mockups, you will see that we have speech bubbles, but the issue with speech bubbles is when you're on a phone, the text becomes super small because you can't make the speech bubbles too
No,
big.
no, you can make a speech bubble to
Oh,
indicate
yeah,
that they are about
Basically,
to say
you're talking
something,
about
and then you print it on the bottom.
you're talking about the animations, and I think that is the thing. Like any animation showing that they are speaking or something like that. That's right.
Well, they are not speaking, they have something to say.
Yeah.
You have to interact to get it.
Oh, okay.
Because you have to choose the time when you want to read it. Because if you want to put the phone down and do something else, and they've already spoken, I mean, it's better if you get it when you want to get it. Anyway, go on.
So again, there would be some kind of back and forth going between all of these agents, and at the end, everybody has made their relevant score. I am voting for a person, but the agents won't be voting for the same person. I am just making my own decision.
So one more stuff. The person who's accusing someone, like Kelly or whatever, has accused someone. So in the prompt, you're already getting information about the accused person.
Yes.
So what you could do, for example, is that if in the prompt there is the accused person, you should give some animation that one of them is speaking, and the accused person, whenever he or she hears the name, shows some emotion. So anyway,
Actually, a great idea.
yeah, okay.
All right, and then
Or their face can go red or smile, or what I'm.
that's
Okay.
true.
Graphics designer.
I mean, you can take that prompt and say, what type of reaction this person would have if they heard this sentence, and then you can use. Actually, you're giving me ideas.
He's gonna launch it next week.
So as you can see, Val has been eliminated.
And then we press continue, and basically in the night action. So right now, I think one thing that we could have done a little better was which person killer tried to kill and then doctor tried to save. But basically, in another condition, it could have just shown that this person was eliminated by the killer. This is like the second aspect of things, that killer chose this person and then doctor also tried to save this person. So in the end, doctor basically succeeded. And
Can the doctor pick himself too?
they can.
They can.
They can?
Technically, yeah.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah, technically they can.
Okay, house rules.
Yeah.
So
And-
again, we come to the next day, and then we
and then,
ask a prompt
yeah.
on. Okay, let's ask the doctor. Did you see the killer? If they saw the killer, we just ask him.
This can go like this game can go as long as you want. Like if you increase the number of players, the number of basically the number of days increase. The end condition here is, and usually even in the board game, is that that the number of
I just noticed a bug.
Oh, that's not a bug. Kind of a bug. It's like
Val is already out, and
Yeah, Val is
you're
dead.
giving him the prompt, and
that's
then
why,
you say
that's why it says
there's
no
nothing to say.
dialogue. He's silent. He didn't say anything.
Well, he's dead.
Yeah, exactly.
we got some neuromancers. Yeah.
Originally in the designs, I had it like it would be like a ghost, like kind of like very opaque or something like that. But I don't know, it kind of clutters up the screen. So
Alright, and then again, you vote for someone. Morgan has been. Oh my god.
Doctor is good.
I don't know what's happening with God. This has never
Like
happened.
if you can say one, like
Yeah, they can say one and they're just choosing the correct
that's
person.
enough.
I'm just putting random prompts here because I just wanted to show you the end screen, but apparently it's not coming. Yeah. So a couple of things that we thought that we could improve was majorly.
Wait, can you ask them who's the doctor? Reveal yourself.
Yeah, they can. So
Yeah, you can. And
I thought that would take a lot more time if you read all of the prompts one by one. But you can, like, at this phase, you can say, Doctor, you should reveal yourself right now because you are the person who is saying everyone. So
Yeah.
they definitely know who's the villager.
yeah, but that's not trustworthy because the killers can just pretend to be the doctor as well.
Yeah. Of course, you question them, be like, well, how do I know you're really the doctor?
Yeah.
Why did you say so and so?
Alright,
so they
The killer was
If the
killed.
doctor is choosing the right person,
Yeah.
why are the people reducing? I mean,
because we are also voting them out, right? At the end of each day, we are voting them out, and in the night, killer gets a chance to kill the person. That's the entire premise of the game. That killer is able to kill a person.
okay, voting also kills the person.
Yes,
Yeah.
because we are trying to kill, like, get the killer out of the game, and finally.
So
we
the
was
only
able-
way to get the killer out is through voting. You have to vote. You have to find the killer. That's the
So
whole.
when does it consider that you've won the game? Like
Yeah, so that's why I was saying that if the number of villagers and number of killers are equal, then the killers have won because they can obviously
Kill the other person.
kill
at
the other
night.
person, and that's it. But otherwise, if we are able to vote out all the killers out of the game, then we win, and that goes into our profile that you were successfully able to, like, conduct a investigation and
Find the killer.
Find the killer.
I love it.
Very good.
That's
That's the main loop of.
Fantastic, yeah.
anyways, back to boring slides.
I know we have Among Us that is very similar, but like, has there been an actual one for Mafia?
Yeah, there's a,
Like-
like this is more of like a popular board, like party games, like
Yeah,
you
yeah,
play
yeah.
with all your friends
But I don't
in
think
real life.
there's
No, but in
anything.
the app. I was saying in the app. There's no other app that.
I don't think which has done all of this AI kind of integration. You can, like, I think multiplayer something. I have seen one app, but then it's not that comprehensive as
Okay.
what we have tried to do.
Okay, well, Aditya has talked about his contributions. Anyways, yeah, my contributions pretty much just some project planning, help with the gameplay design. I did practically like majority of the UI UX designs, so all the art collection stuff. Programming wise, I focused all on the front end stuff, so just UI development, and that's like my part.
So you were doing some parallax stuff. How are you doing all that? With what package?
No, the parallax stuff is actually just a GIF, so it's just an animated image. Yeah, an image. So I paid for a tool which converts a static image and it gets a depth map of that image, and then with the depth map you can start doing the parallax effect.
Okay.
And so I basically worked on a authentication part. So the whole Firebase setup did by me. So I maintained that Firebase thing. So login, sign up, and logout functionality implemented by me. And then login, sign up, and login screen and sign up screen also maintained by me. And the profile state that we are maintaining in the state that who won how many games or who lost how many games, that is also that functionality also implemented by me. So that is my part in the development.
If you had mentioned the music.
He also implemented the music, but then we weren't able to get it all running. So we have it in our, like, pipelines, but then he wasn't able to show it.
So what I did was the main core logic building that we have, maintaining I basically developed the whole front end of the UI. Obviously everyone helped, but like all the character layouts and all the screen layouts, I've done the screen layouts, and mostly the logic building throughout, like having state management. So we've used Riverpod provider to manage states within the whole app, and mostly that's probably it. Yeah, also worked on integrating the backend with the front end that we got from the back. Yeah.
I can talk about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, in terms of like game design, originally Mafia is supposed to be played with like multiplayer. Like you're supposed to play with other people, but we didn't want to deal with multiplayer because to demo it, we would all have to be like on our individual phones playing. So that's why we chose to use AI agents. Plus, it's like a little bit more interesting to like technology we haven't really worked on that much. In terms of UI designs, like obviously I mentioned the issue before in our previous UI mockups. Some of them were portrait, because like when you're dealing with like settings and menu, portraits are really nice. But once you go to landscape, it becomes real truncated and it's hard to deal with like sliders and stuff. It's not as nice looking. But we turned out that like I felt that it was very inconvenient when like you have a portrait mode for the menus and then you press play and then you have to turn your phone to go into the landscape mode for the gameplay. So we just kept it all landscape. In terms of programming, yeah, there's a lot of like difficulties when it comes to integrating the front end with the back end because we worked very separate until like pretty much the very end where we had to link everything up. That probably could have been better if we worked like verifying one thing at a time, but I don't know, that's just how we decided to work. That's fine, I can talk about it. Yeah, so a few features that we ended up like kind of not doing was like.
So initially, what we thought was we can also be the killer, and there would be an option where we could select if we want to be the detective or the killer. So in our mode, when we would be a killer, we would have the option to be deceptive, kill someone at night, the whole loop, but from the killer's perspective. But then we thought the scope would increase a lot because we would need to maintain almost like two separate projects, because that's completely different than what we've done. And there's another thing that we dropped, which was like the history page. We wanted to save all the conversations of each day in a history tab, kind of in a left side, like a drawer kind of thing. But we couldn't manage to complete that in time, so we dropped that.
It's more like this one, history one, we are still planning to do it. It's just that with all the things and all the issues that we did not envision, it just happened that at the end we decided, okay, let's just stop this because this could be something that.
Yeah. I mean, I think, what's great is that you've done the there's one thing maybe you didn't do, the device thingies, like locations or gestures and stuff.
Like sensors?
Huh?
Like sensors?
Sensor gestures.
Yeah.
We thought about it, but it was like the only thing that we could do is like text to speech for the prompts.
And we were planning to do that.
Like what other gyroscope? There's no real use. We don't need a camera. We don't so.
Well, you can use the camera, just upload your profile picture.
That's true.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, what's great is that you've actually gone out to this external data provider, OpenAI, to interact with them and bringing them back in. I mean, those are not trivial things at the end of the day to get it to work. And what made you choose Riverpod? Because you were familiar with it from somewhere else.
Actually, I was when our course started, I started working on a separate project. I was creating like a Wordle clone, and for that I used Riverpod because I looked it up. It's much more simpler to use for like a small scope project. So that's why we decided, since this is also like a smaller scope in have a very few number of screens. So we decided to use Riverpod. That's it. There's no other reason.
Okay.
So much time. Just go. There's just some integrations. Moving on.
The lambda index.
Llama index, yeah.
And
How does an API call look like? Like, what do you send? You send.
So we can show you basically a quick response. First, as you can see, we have a prompt to send. We can send the number of players and number of killers.
So this
Let's
is
just
just
say-
a post method when we start the game.
Okay.
And yeah, so there are a lot of things, but we wanted to keep it simple on the post side of
API.
things. And then you generate like random players and like who would they be, killer and all of those things. Only for our viewpoint, we are getting this villager killer because we wanted to see who exactly was the killer. But then the AI agents don't get all of these stuff. They just get that this is the person and are they alive or not,
And their name.
and their name. That's it.
Oh, when you
So-
prompt the AI, I guess.
Yeah, and this is like fed as a context to all the other AI agents.
So
And the model
basically-
is llama. Is that what you said?
So the model is OpenAI. Llama Index just helps us do all of these things a little more easier and like set it up into like structures and all of those things.
but you
So
also have LangChain.
LangChain we used for a small part, but then I tried a lot of things, and Llama Index and LangChain have like a parallel kind of
Yeah.
use case. I went with Llama Index at the end, but we also tried LangChain, so that's why I wrote it down.
so in our discuss phase, we send the message,
Uh-huh.
and it loads up the prompt. It takes about like 5 seconds to process all the things and create like a conversation out of it.
So in over here, it usually loads like all of them at once, but then you can also get one by one what they are saying.
Yeah.
And so all of them.
Oh,
like,
I see. They're questioning each other.
yes.
So
What are you using for the backend? Like, what do you
Like I tried using the basically since the length of the entire conversation is small. I tried using embeddings, but then it did not make a lot of more sense. Like Quadrant for like embeddings, it's usually good to store embeddings and like the metadata with it. But
No,
then
no, I meant like you use Flutter or Go or.
it's
Python.
Python. Simple Python. Yeah, Python, and this is the fast API.
Okay.
So at the end, you get after discussing, you get the status, game status for all of those, and then we handle the vote. Let's try.
I see.
You can vote anyone. Let's just say agent.
It's
underscore
small.
two.
It's small.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, just say it. Let's just guess agent 2, and we transition to the night phase, and as we see, agent 2 has been voted out. Obviously, everyone voted for agent 2, so it ended up being. So after that, we can also see who voted for whom. So we voted for the agent 2. The first player also voted for agent 2. The third player also voted for agent 2. And
let me tell you this might seem like this is like whatever we are voting for, everybody else is voting for, but this does not happen very frequently. It's usually somebody else would vote for them.
But so these are all the API calls that you make to your Python
Yeah.
code, but what's actually behind in the code?
Or do you want me to show the code?
Yes.
Well,
If you can,
Yeah.
I think what we want to see is that how do you
How do you
create
get
the
the
prompts?
Yes. Exactly.
so so this is the base agent that we are using. This is like the can you guys see?
Yes.
Controls.
Alright, I'll just zoom it in. And so this is like these are like abstract methods that I'm setting up. Then this is like update the relevant score. Normalize scores once let's just say we have like after one day they would have some kind of scores that everybody creates, and then couple of people get voted out or killed. So they again normalize the score so that it is from the range of 0 to 1.
Since someone dies, the relevant score also changes based on that because
And it raises in like the entire score should like basically go till 1.
So
That-
for
that's-
example, if someone said, I know this guy is the killer, and for example, if that person dies, then you're like, oh, then your relevance score goes down since you were accusing that person and that person died. So you had a suspicion on that based on the relevance score, but since that person died, your relevance score goes down again.
It's almost credibility, I guess.
Yeah, it's a credibility system basically. Relevance score is basically credibility.
And then we have like doctor agents. So doctor have like some kind of prompts that we are given, like you can choose a player based on threat assessment, cannot save the same player twice in a row, all of these things, and whatever the suspicion is, you can save on the basis of that. Also, then these are like the basic prompts for them that stay alert but subtle, because that you don't want to die too early, where the killer should not kill you, and like villagers, like obviously if killer comes to know pretty early in the game that this is the doctor and this person can save, they might kill them. So they get the base prompt, then they get a role specific prompt, and when they are basically, the role specific prompt is let me go through there.
Oh, so is that what you're sending to like Lambda?
Yeah,
Lambda.
Llama,
In which
yeah,
you're saying this
to
is the conversation so far, but keep in mind
Yes.
there's a killer already.
Yeah.
Two people died. That's what you append at the bottom.
Correct.
So the same setting you send to the base prompt to the AI, right?
Yeah. So these are like all the prompts, and then these are like role specific prompts, except the response prompt. So like what you are supposed to do in the game, and then how you are supposed to respond in the game as well.
So,
So technically, I can just go to like ChatGPT and then enter the same text, and then maybe my prompt, and then I should be able to play alone, text based, right, or not?
But then how would you maintain like all the different kind of like
Yeah, it won't maintain the context of like each player. It will just be random, because you don't have a barrier on like if you say it'll just go away and say like random people's names. It'll just go. It won't have the context.
Yeah. What if I give it in every message? It'll be like, hey, here's the context. Is that this is what I'm typing or appending now?
What happens in that is that we are the basic thing over here, and why we need agents is because we can containerize them, separate them out. So one agent is not able to understand what the other agent is thinking.
Oh.
And that is the important point here. And the context that is being maintained is maintained separately for each one of them. You can go to ChatGPT, but after a point, like maybe 3 messages down, all of them would get mixed up, and all of them would see. So right now, it's like a privacy kind of thing, right? One person does not know what other person is thinking, something like that, and that is why this is more interesting.
It's having them talk. It's like a little scary. You have them talk to each other, but like they don't really know what the other AI is thinking.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. And so these are like the role specific prompts. Everybody gets like response prompt, and then there's like an action resolver, which collects all the actions, resolves what night actions are, who was the save player, who was the killed player, and all of those things. And this is like the game control, which runs the main loop, like also like the game over condition, which basically maintains like how many number of alive players are there, and like how many number of villagers, and all of those things are there.
But where is the Python code running? Is it running on a server?
This is local right now.
So your code requires a live server to run.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So it's not
It's not
serverless. Yeah.
It's not serverless. No, it's not.
Although you could make it serverless. I mean,
Yeah,
anyway,
we could
fine.
make it, but
I think those things we did not focus on because like we wanted to get
we just wanted to get the game working. We focused on that.
Yeah, I think the thing here is that this has a lot of stuff in the background, which is, yeah.
Yeah, the gameplay looks like really simple, but just like getting that to work was like extremely hard. That's why we like discarded all the different roles and stuff, because there was no way we had the time to do all that.
Like on the I think you must have seen on the basically on the flow diagram, it might seem like once you see it, like it might be very simple to understand, oh, okay, this happens after this, but then you have to maintain all of that context at every point so that this game is not biased.
I mean, in all honesty, this is more a Python game rather than a Flutter game. So, but still, I think it gave us a lot of inspiration. So, thank you very much. I mean, I think it's very exciting what you guys did. So I don't know, I hope everybody agrees, but this was very,
Oh yeah.
very nice. Thank you very much.
It took like an hour.
Yeah, but
Oh my god.
it was good. It was something new. So who is next?
I was trying to speak it up, but like.
Oh, they're going.
Okay. Travel now?
They are doing, no, that's not the travel app. That's the QR code.
So there was like 2 teams that didn't do demo.
Consistency is what they just say. Like first they'll keep this person, and then vote that person out, and then they're actually innocent. Then you kind of like suspicious. Why did this person vote?
Sir,
Yes,
is there a converter for Mac? Oh,
there is. It's just, yeah, that one.
There we go. Thanks.
It's still a flooded game.
I think it's gonna work.
Something coming?
Yeah, there we go. Hi everyone, welcome to our app, Peer Tap. Just a refresher, my name is Ananya. I'm Nikki.
I'm Brian.
I'm Juliana. And a lot of you are probably looking at this and wondering what our app is, essentially. So I will go ahead and break it down. So at the very core, our app is a wireless business card exchange app. So the thought process behind this app was the situation of like us being computer science students, having a lot of information associated with our capabilities and our just user potential, like a GitHub link, a LinkedIn link, a possible personal project link, and also we have a variety of different interests that we would like to pursue. So in this case, we really wanted to appeal to job seekers and recruiters and just peer-to-peer networking where they could organize all this information in one virtual card and just simply exchange that card with one another. So this is really great because it just takes out the need of having to surf through multiple websites to find these different links and allows people to have all their networking information consolidated in one singular app. So the key features of this app are the wireless transaction method using QR camera technology, and also having the business card itself, including multiple links and possible interests that we will show later on in our demo and in our presentation. So the main versatility for this is being able to use this in a conference setting and easily exchange information with other peers and also job recruiters who would like to organize their information about specific candidates into one specific area. And the monetization strategy is allowing people to have a limit on how many cards they're able to store at once, and increasing that limit basing on the amount they pay, and also allowing them to have custom card designs because we currently do not have that, and some other features that we'll get into a bit later. So for now, I'm going to do a very quick demo of a run through of how our app looks like. Right here. For the sake of seeing the full app, I'm going to just reload it. But one thing I would like to notice or point out is the app icon that we have also created that shows up on our phones. So let me go ahead and do a restart of the app. And when you open it, you are essentially seeing an animation that we have created for our app, as well as our sign-in page. So our sign-in page is right here, and before I get to that, I'll show you our sign-up page as well, which is working. And we can go here, and let's say I wanted to use me as an example user for this case. If we enter in the wrong password, we are immediately faced with a wrong password error, so we have configured that in our backend. We go ahead and put in the right password. And we are immediately greeted with a home page of the user's stored cards. And right now we just have like mock data pulled from the database and with working links that open up the appropriate link in Google. And first I will hand it off to Nee so she can talk a little bit more about the QR scanner right here.
So I'm just gonna show the QR scanner. Let me just navigate to where the room is, because they put it in a separate room where you can scan the QR code. But essentially, once we see the QR code, there it is. Once we see the QR code, it will look up the ID of the card that we're thinking of scanning, and then it'll pull it from the database. So here we can see it being pulled up, and we can accept the card or we can just delist it entirely. So, yeah.
And I'd also like to mention that.
Wait a second, one question. Did you test this on a real device?
No, not yet.
So I didn't understand the camera part. Is that a virtual camera? I mean, is that?
Yes, that is a virtual camera. So basically, every single user has their own show card QR code associated with it.
Oh, yes.
And in this case, we put a different user's QR code throughout the virtual camera in that specific room that we scanned here.
The emulator is a bit buggy right now here, as you can see, but it should show the same functionality as if we had an actual camera. So that's how we were able to still do camera testing with this emulator.
Okay.
And essentially, when users accept a new card, they would get a notification accordingly in the notification tab. And users can also edit their profile in the profile tab, where they're greeted with a version of their card that is stored in the database. So for example, we logged into Nee's account, so we have Nee's information. And if we wanted to go through and edit that information, we can easily do that here. So if we wanted to change her name, we could do just a simple initial, last name. And if we wanted to, we can take out certain websites. So not everyone has another external website. So if we took that out, you can see that it would disappear from the business card accordingly. And we also have a skills section, which is really important for us to utilize with computer science students because we all have different interests. And we can select multiple skills here. And if we try to select more than 3 skills, it gives us an error. And we do this because, like simplicity-wise, we want people to be able to look at your business card and quickly tell what your interest is in one look. So I'll go ahead and delete the appropriate one so that it's back down to 3. We can save this information, and we're greeted with a pop-up, and that is reflected in Nee's card. And
we also have customization features. Right now, it's the basic ones.
but to show off, like we can just do simple changing the color of the cards as well as changing the icons. So it's simple customization, but if we want to allow more customizations, that would be a premium feature. Another way how we can monetize it and allow the users to add more personalization to the cards.
So one question,
Yes.
this person who has the app now, is this a recruiter?
So right now, this is a student.
The user, it can be a student or a recruiter. So the point of the app is just to exchange like business cards. So and these business cards can be student or recruiter. Declares of who you are in the title, and it's just to kind of like, because sometimes you want to give out your information in a really like short, like really short methods. Like we have so many papers, so many emails, so many links, and just a short business card just to link through all of those. So we keep it here in one simple format.
Student, so it's a bit more clear. And now to continue on the presentation to talk about the specifics behind it.
So I'm just listing them briefly because my team members will go into more depth for what they did. But so as you saw, we used the QR scanner and generator, Firebase for authentication and storing user data, and then we also used Lottie for the animation that you saw in the beginning. And everyone will go into more depth about that in their personal slides.
To start off, I was mainly in charge of the Figma and Firebase integration. So when we were thinking about this app, simplicity was key. We wanted to keep like the navigation bar as minimal as possible so that students can navigate through certain pages quickly, because when you're in a conference setting or in a like career fair setting, you want to be able to access this information as fast as possible. And we also try to make it as intuitive as possible, keeping track with the norms of the navigation bar and keeping a consistent color scheme throughout. And we chose a specific color scheme because we feel like it's more palatable and it's very business friendly in terms of the blue and then the white, and a simple pop of color being the orange. And I also worked on the sign in and sign up page, which allows the users to create a user through authentication, where we will similarly also create a document in our Firestore to store all the user information that you saw in the appropriate form. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the Firebase.
Yeah, so my contributions are a bit less visible because I created the initial skeleton. So that includes all the navigation systems, so the router and the nav bar. And I made just a lot of the initial pages that were more or less blank slates to help just set everything up. And I just listed what those were and created the widgets for the card widget, just the basic form. Besides that, I created the mock class just for testing before we implemented the backend. And then I just did some small UI at the end, like so that we can select a user card in the cards page.
The animation of the cards is very nice.
Yeah, and so we just we kind of modified just to how we liked it. But yeah, so I just had a pop-up so that it can dim the background and so you can see a card more clearly. Yeah, and that's it.
So I was in charge of the front end and the UI along with the branding assets like the splash screen and the logo. So for the UI implementation, I based it off of the Figma designs and screens that Ananya made. So those include the sign-in screen, the loading page, the notification screen, and the profile screen. Very baseline implementations, which were further improved by my teammates, especially Nee with the for the card view or like certain icons. I also implemented some dynamic UI. This included, it wasn't visible during the MU, the example, but the sign-in page, slowly like flowing up, increasing opacity as well as movement in order to kind of try to create a seamless integration with the splash screen and our actual functional app. This also involves, the dynamic UI also involves the card scrolling view, which again, we found a website that allowed us to like explore more dynamic assets and how to implement those. So that kind of gives our cards a little bit more of a card-like feel when the user is swiping through them, which is moving a little bit towards user experience. So for the app and business logo, I started with sketching up some mock designs of what pure tap means and some baseline knowledge of those two words together, processed it with my team members, and started making mock-up designs with Adobe Illustrator, which I also used to make a baseline view, view of the, what is it called, the business card, which then transitions into the iPhone. I used After Effects, Adobe Illustrator, and Lottie for it. So Lottie is a website-based video converting into JSON format, especially like for, can be used for using Figma. It can also be used for Adobe After Effects, but I mainly animated the splash screen on After Effects, used Lottie to process it into a JSON that I then implemented into our app. The app and business logo also, I used a website to convert it into, what's the word, like adaptable formats for both iOS and Android as well.
Very good. I'm still a bit stuck on the camera part. So, are you able to load the thing on a real device and like actually use the camera?
I don't see why not.
I mean, have you done it? Because that's, I think it's important. I mean, one of the key features of your app is that the camera works. And it is the crucial part of the app. So I'm trying to understand how this emulator works. You know, how do you get the QR code inside the emulator?
Android Studio is.
Oh, Android Studio has that feature?
Yeah, that's how we were able to test any. Sorry. Yeah. So Android Studio allows us to test any camera testing, any features by using their virtual room. So, and we can upload our own photos using the settings page here. So they have like 3 different sections where you can upload whatever format you wanted to test. So the wall was for the image. They also had one on the table, but that was like a little more frustrating to navigate with the keys. So I stuck to the wall. They also had the TV. That's the first thing we see when we go into this virtual room. That's for like videos and stuff that you can test with your app. But
okay, I see now. Okay, so it really simulates a real camera.
Yes.
Sort of.
Yes.
And for the sake of this, we just uploaded another QR code with links to a different account.
And can you tell us a little bit about the QR code package that generates it and deciphers it?
So are you?
So how do you integrate with the QR code package? I think we would like to.
Yeah. So I used 2 different packages. One was for the scanner and one was for the QR generator. Because for sharing cards, we need both a camera and our own personal QR code. So for scanning, I tried different packages, but the best one was mobile scanner. It covers, there's a lot of different features that can use with mobile scanning, but it was very simple, a package, third-party package installation.
It's in PubDev, right? It's
Yes.
a Flutter package.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we were able to use that to show in the code. I guess I can show it.
So you take that picture from the emulator.
So the text, so the camera, basically the camera will start like detecting, looking for a QR code, and once it scans it, we will be able to code it so that it stops scanning for a QR code. It uses that data, and then we would be able to take that data that is processed and then format it or use it to our agenda within our app.
But hang on a second. The camera So the QR code package
Yes.
is instantiating the camera.
Yes.
Is that it? And then once it detects it, it gives you.
It can give you the data. It can. So if you don't implement anything else except for the camera and the scanning, it would continue to scan the QR code as long as you keep it in front of the camera, and you can use that, and it would continue to just like hold that data or whatever. So I implemented so that it takes like the first snapshot of that data, and then once we've gotten that, we would dispose of the QR codes for scanning, and then go from there.
Okay, so if I open up a regular camera, and if it sees the QR code, does it tell me something? The regular,
In general, QR codes, if you have a camera, like if you pulled out your phone right now and you look at any QR code, it will tell you data, because.
But that's the camera app.
Yes, because phones have their own kind of like QR scanning within their own.
I know, but it's the QR scanning is because don't forget there's the camera package.
Yes.
Right? And there is the camera app. So the phone has a camera app which uses the camera infrastructure. But it has a lot of other stuff built into it.
The camera app on the phone.
On the phone.
Yeah.
But when you use the camera package from PubDev, does it give you the QR functionality inside the camera package?
Oh no, I did not use a separate camera package. I used the mobile scanner, which handles the camera.
So that's what I was saying. So the mobile scanner instantiates the camera itself.
Yes.
So you don't explicitly instantiate the camera.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to. Okay, now I understand.
Oh. My bad for
So you're actually not using the camera package.
No.
Right.
The mobile scanner has its own wrapper handling of cameras and stuff.
Yes.
So we don't.
Yes. Okay.
And I use, as for the QR itself, the QR code for the user, I use a different, just a simple QR generator package. And then it would generate the QR code for which, after that, you can customize it to show your, you can have like a center icon, as this one, and also personalize the, I suppose the dots. Here you can use the generic, the standard squares, or you can use the circular versions, depending on your app. And then that was for the sharing the share feature. I also worked on the editor part of our app, where you can do simple customizations and info editing for your business card. So this was a matter of implementing our own color pickers and avatars based on what we want to provide for the users. Since this is the free tier version, we gave them the simple colors as well as simple avatars, just to get straight to the point. I was looking into some third-party packages to see if there's any, but I felt this was the simplest way and better way of just coding our own pickers here. So I also did some simple user card UI updates and adds, like for example the links, the icon links here were what I worked on, as well as the skill chips as well. I also make them optional on the cards, as we saw earlier in the demo, where if we don't put anything in, they just takes it right out, so you don't have to worry about it, as well as the drop-down search.
For our marketing and monetization ideas, so our main idea was to market to job recruiters, because if the job recruiters are telling all the job seekers, then obviously like recruiters, the job seekers would want to join. So that would be our goal, and I guess it'd be like going to conventions and things like that. And for our monetization, we're thinking of like a freemium kind of scheme. So where the paid version would give you extra features. And so these are just some ideas we had, where it's like you might have a limited number of storage depending on if you have the free or paid version. You could upload images for like card backgrounds, and so just more customizable features. and then the last would be cloud syncing. But yeah.
And in terms of difficulties we encountered during our app development, initially PureTap was supposed to be not only wireless but also contactless, in the sense that we wanted to make use of the tapping feature that you sometimes see on the phone. So like Apple's recent name drop release, where you just hold the phones over each other and you can share contacts. We wanted to try to use that technology for our app. And so we looked into it, and one of the things that one of the possible ways was using NFC sensors. So using that, you would the phone can sense for NFCs, for NFC chips, and then be able to obtain information from those small chips. However, after further testing and trying to work it out, what we needed was not just NFC sensing, but also NFC emulation with the phones, because it's not like an actual chip within the phone. There was an emulation, and while you were able to do that for some parts of well, for some Android devices, iOS had more restrictions on allowing who could use this this technology for NFC emulation. So this was beyond. We tried going into the Apple Developer Program, but it's actually beyond the Apple Developer Program. We had to do like a request and send and qualify for the requirements to be able to use the NFC emulation. So because we didn't qualify to that extent, we had to switch our methods and go for QR sensing, QR code scanning instead. So that took a bit of delay, but we were able to go to QR scanning, so that was good. Some other difficulties that vary from like really simple to really hard. Theme mapping, just because we had like that we faced a little bit of difficulty because of the way that they had the roles. For example, they had a scaffold and they had like the surface, right? And so on surface would be like the color you would use on those parts of the app, but there wasn't a distinction for like on surface. So if you had very contrasting color between the two, it wouldn't show up for one of them, for example, at least not in high enough contrast that we were able to read it. And so that caused a lot of hard coding instead of just relying on simple feedback. For Firestar data configuration, we faced some issues with that required a lot of document checking, as well as data fetching that took us a couple of days to figure it out, but it ended up just being complex within our own app in terms of like routing in Qubit and then handling the data, so we were able to figure that out as well. And then for splash animation too, it was a matter of trying to achieve a seamless transition, because a lot of the good things of an app that people notice immediately is if animation-wise, is it good? Like, do we feel like it's stuttering, or is it like loading perfectly for us? So that was something that we worked hard on trying to get.
Very good.
So for future updates, we could include more functionality like changing the password or resetting it. Also unique card customization. When we were first talking about the draft for the app, we were thinking about including like stickers or PNGs, or just making it more fun or customizable, a little bit different than the business side, so which also I'll talk about more in the future. Also adding card categorization options for recruiters if they do use the app. So like filtering out, oh, who did I meet at this convention or at this maybe time, or like what majors, etc. And also maybe potentially in the far future, like NFC implementation, actually putting in a functionality that we didn't have enough time to completely refine or actually implement. And in general, for the future, because our app is there's a lot of possibilities for it to happen. Maybe it is in this business side, but maybe it's also in the more casual side of like not just like professional conventions, but like for fun conventions and meeting other people, or maybe getting business cards from store owners, kind of limiting the use of paper and making it more sustainable. Those types of things to just think about in general, but those are the main things for the future.
Very good. Thank you very much. Fantastic. Okay, shall we take a 5-minute break before? So you guys will do a full presentation, and then the others will just show the app running, right? So.
Not ready.
Huh? You're not ready.
Can we go next?
Let's take 5-minute break because we've been going for very long. Let's take 5-minute break and then you guys going again. So let's be back here at 8:25, okay? And you guys are gonna show the app running. Excellent.
Can you check
Did you guys do the surveys?
no like what in the email?
You did? Survey, course evaluation survey. In your email. You did it?
What's it called?
Same course evaluation.
They don't allow you to see SCU.
So what's up, guys?
Okay, that's good to know.
Yes.
Yes.
Course evaluation. Oh, that's the one.
Yes.
Wait a second, you did already present?
We did
It's only supposed to
we did the presentation. We also
Yes,
ran
yes, sorry, running up. Okay,
It should sound like it's
so we only have two that.
120 kilometers. So I think can you post the Hill to Santa Clara? San Francisco it should be showing. And when you change it to Santa Clara, it should show something like 50 kilometers.
The thing was, doing state management was a little bit tricky.
You can show some.
The thing was, like, in every API fetch call, we didn't get the game ID. So what was happening is every time it updated the game ID, it just gets to a random game ID. I have to like manually go and.
然后我都不知道你的配置逻辑是什么，我就是在哪里搞的。
Yeah, it's just generated on the first start.
Yeah,
at the
but you need
start.
to save that.
Yeah, so
The other API.
other API calls don't give you the game ID.
Yeah. But you need to pass the game ID as part of the info.
After you
Yeah.
will,
Yeah.
after the finish.
It wasn't transferred.
I'll talk about the grading and everything. So. Yeah, it's very interesting, the Python.
Not a game.
Python backend.
Python engine.
Yeah.
I also made this one on Flutter. I've deployed it on like GitHub. So, are you aware of Wordle?
Wordle, yeah, of course.
I just made this on the side.
కొత్తగా కనపడుతుందేమో నాకు నా కోడ్
Just to put in the animations and stuff, but like I've gotten like the whole.
నాకు చూపించడమే
Is that an English
కాకపోతే
word?
నాకు బటన్ కొడితే అదే వస్తుంది డౌట్
Really?
Yeah.
టెక్స్ట్ ఫీల్డ్ పని చేస్తుందా
If you
ఏంది
just type random stuff, it doesn't lead.
వీళ్ళు ఇప్పుడు తిక్క పని చేయడం వల్ల నా కోడ్ పోతుందా
Basically, I have a list. I have a.
టెక్స్ట్ ఫీల్డ్ పని చేయలేదు కదా అది ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేసేటప్పుడు నేనే చేయాలి
Also, there's a functionality of like having like also like difficulty. So that's why provider pattern, rather than provider pattern, I use Riverpod because it's simpler
For the clean and
using modifier to notify on like changes to states. So it becomes much more easier this way. So basically, I have a list of words that I take to select the word that's the right word, the one that I have to guess, and then there's another one, another data set that's a word bank. Basically, it has a list of like 3,000, 5,000 words that you can guess, but they are not the ones that we select the word. We have a lot of words. So have for like the 4-letter words, 5-letter and 6.
Yeah, like when you scan it.
He's showing off his game.
Cool.
To be clear, it is a Flutter front end. To be clear, it is a Flutter front end. Like we also work really hard on the Flutter aspect of things.
Who worked on?
We also work like equally hard on the Flutter aspect.
No, I mean, there's nothing wrong
But
with
it seems to be intermittent above.
I guess it's like a little iceberg. The biggest complexity is getting the
I
AI
had
logic,
I
which is
had like a version that was just using backend. Before the backend logic, I just made like a mock-up backend that was manually doing all the stuff that it was doing using just a JSON file. It had pre-built dialogues. It was randomly choosing from. But then he came in and was like, let's do this.
Do you guys know this Google's?
Register events. Do you want to just copy?
So I think that one is like the integration aspect of those, like even for like Gemini and all of those things, it's a lot more difficult and it's not that user friendly as compared to.
Okay. All right. Who's going next? You guys wanna go? Or taking time. Can you guys go?
I think it works. I think we're gonna use but that doesn't happen. I'm sure that it's gonna work.
This is the hectic last week.
Oh yeah.
Still have the finals.
Oh.
Okay, let's focus.
Hi everyone, we're the Odyssey travel app and we're just going to do a run through of our application. So we made an app icon and a little animation.
Wow, that was a nice animation.
Sorry, let me just log out so it shows you properly. So this is our animation, and then we made an app icon, like of the Golden Gate Bridge, since our app is like a Bay Area travel app, and the bridge is kind of like iconic. And we used material theme colors that go with the theme of our application. So you can either sign up or you can sign in. So I'm just gonna log in since I have an account. Oh, and I also have a forgot password, which sends an email to the user if they forgot their password. Okay, so I'm just gonna go over the profile stuff first. This is the profile page, or kind of like the settings page. Here you have edit profile, so you can edit all of the fields like name, last name, email, phone number, location. And then we also have a camera sensor, so you can edit your profile picture. Gives you the option to take the picture from your camera or use the gallery. I'm gonna show how the camera works. So this is just an emulator camera. But this is the picture I had before. Switch, I think, yeah. So Yeah, and as you can see, the picture changed. So if I go back here, it's the.
Where do you save the picture?
We save it to Firebase, the Firebase database. Yeah.
So you've sorted all of that out, image saving and uploading.
Yes. It saves to the user table. We have the image URL. So yeah, that's edit profile, and then we have favorite locations. So I haven't saved any yet, but if I go here, and I go here, I can save a location. If I go back, then you see these are my favorite locations, and I can also remove it. So.
Oh, so you
slide.
include the slide.
Yeah.
Okay, very good.
So if I go back here, you can see that it's not saved anymore. So Maps download network is basically how the user would like to download their maps. It can be through Wi-Fi, cellular, or both. So I can just save that preference and it updates. Manage membership.
Map download is a Google Maps API feature, right?
Yeah, we're gonna show that later on. Manage membership is basically how we're gonna get money through the app. We have 3 different memberships: the free, premium, and elite. So you can change whichever membership you want. And for now, keep it at basic and then show another feature later on. Back to profile, and then here you can just choose to log out or not. And then we're using off to make sure all the block to make sure all the navigation and stuff works. So I'm not gonna log out, so everyone else can show their.
When you come to the home screen, you can see the list of locations here. Here there is a search bar where you can search with the. So if you search with the gate, it gives Golden Gate option. So this search functionality supports case and sensitive and gate, which is a substring search. And here you can also select the filters like proximity. If you select 10 miles, it shows all the apps within the 10 miles. And you can select the category if you select the nature. Okay, there is 10 miles. If you select the history, you can see 2 places within 10 miles, like the museum and there are 2 museums. If you want to know more about a particular location, you can click on it, and here you can see the description and more photos on it. Description, and here you can see the reviews, and there is no ratings, and there is no reviews. If you want to, if you can write reviews here as well, like write a review. In the drop down, it's giving only one option because we are coming from that particular, redirecting from that particular location. And if you want, you can go to image, and you can select tags, ratings, comment.
So I have a question. When you're putting a review about a place, does the review sit as a collection, as a reviews collection under your user or under the place?
Under the place.
Under the place.
And also, yeah, under the place, but it gives our name as well. Like if you see here with the name, like with the email.
No, I understand that, but I just wanted to understand how you actually structured your data. So you are putting the reviews as a collection under each place.
Making them related.
Huh?
We're using a relational, it has the user ID, the review.
So there's a separate reviews collection in the Firestore.
Oh, it's a separate reviews collection. Okay, so it's not a collection. Okay.
Actually, the reviews one is implemented by Madhuri. I'm just connecting over here and using here. It actually shows in the connect page as well.
Yeah.
And that's it. Next will be continued by Madhuri.
Right, so this is the connect feature. I to kind of apologize in advance for how buggy it might be. So I've implemented a shimmer widget for when it has to collect the reviews. So now if I just navigate to the Friends tab, it will load a list of all reviews that are posted by people who are in my friend list. So I can scroll down, and so you can even filter some of these posts. So if I select nature, for example, it will filter in the background, and I can scroll all the way down and click on apply filters. And then it basically filters based on whatever criteria you selected in the filter post right here. So it saves that, and even if I just click on a bunch of, for example, star ratings right here, and let's say click on clear filters, it should just keep updating in the background, and you can just scroll down and you can see all the reviews as they are. So if you go to the You page, which gives a list of posts that you have put up by yourself, you get the additional option here of creating a new post. So now if I just click on that, now I have a whole bunch of the locations to select from, which is different from it's different a post from when you're coming from the location details page, which gives the details of only one location. But if you're coming from the You tab of the Connect page, you have a whole host to select from. So let me just click this right here. And so again, you can take from the camera, or you can choose from the gallery. So I created a custom gallery widget right here. And I'll just select this random photo. Can select a whole bunch of tags. We create a yes right here. You get a snack bar saying your post is uploaded, and you can go back and so basically these posts are ordered from latest to the past posted. And again, you can send friend requests right here. So for example, if I were to send a friend request to Harshini,
you can send a friend request, okay.
Yeah. And then if Harshini logs in with her email, she'll go, if she clicks on this notification tab right here, she'll get a whole bunch of notifications like this. Only at the top, you'll see a notification with a red dot indicating that it's in red. And if you click on that, you'll be redirected to a page that looks a little something.
So these notifications are not using Firebase messaging. They are just entries in the database, right?
They're entries in the database. So within the user collection, there is another sub collection called notifications, and there are documents highlighting the details of that notification. And now Pujita will demonstrate the maps feature.
So in addition to the camera sensor, we have used the mic sensor, audio sensors, and the current location GPS. So this is pointing out to our current location, Santa Clara University. And here, if I say something like Alviso National Park, so it is going to directly going there, and it is asking us to give the location details as such. If you give the get directions, and start location can be our current location, or as well as you can type your own location. So let's say I'm taking it from the Santa Clara. So let's say let me give the directions. Oh,
wow. All of that is working. I mean, you guys implemented a lot.
Yeah, so this is how it is going. So if I say Alviso, so it is pointing out to the other location, and it is giving the directions from there to here, how to go, and the directions, as we cannot go directly, so I'm just giving an animation saying that car is going in that direction, and these are the directions. And I can download the maps. So now I've saved one map, and here it is showing as 153. And as I previously mentioned that
For the basic users, it is three. We can download up to three offline maps, and from premium it is 5, and for elite it is unlimited. And so if I go back, the profile is in basic feature, now I cannot share my share my current location as it is a premium feature. And if I say to upgrade, I can go back to this and I can say this is the upgrade. I'm choosing some premium plan for now. And if I go back, if I now share this, I mean, it's taking time because it has to call back from the Firebase. So I'm just, so if I say this, now it is saying that I can share with my friends and I can share with the other apps as well. So if I say this is how the link will be given, and I can share it with the other friends in the other apps. And coming to as professor suggested, so I can see there is another profile here, nearby profile, who is very near. So for the friends, I can show who are nearby, the users, active users here. By clicking on this, I can say that there are few nearby users here. And if they want to send requests, they can get the details as such. But right now I'm hiding it because it's a privacy thing and I don't want to go forward. And this is how, and I can see here my, so as I said, I've moved to the premium premium plan. So the maps has been changed to 5 for the offline maps. And I can see here my download maps where I'm going, and I can also get to the locations as such. So this is how I have implemented the maps, and we have used Google Maps API for this, and few animations just to show, to make it look beautiful. That's all.
Yes.
And
very good.
That's all. Thank you. And next safety will be explained.
So this page basically user can access some safety function. You can add some emergency contacts. If the phone number is exit to the you will raise arrows, and the image will be the same as the profile, use the same functions. I will not show you again. Also, you can search by name. And then in this page, you can write and share some safety tips. You can also sort or search by the title. You can write something. And you can delete your own tips. While sharing here, you will fetch the emergency contact list, and you can fetch your current location and choose to send it to the emergency contacts. Also, if you are not a premium user, you cannot use this button, and it will raise a reminder to upgrade your plan. Also, the security
We have a
rate.
few more teams, so let's wrap up.
So here, it will locate your location and transfer it to the city, and you can rate your cities. Rate a city if you think it's safety, and you can submit your rating. And here you will collect all ratings under this city and calculate the average of them. If you report some security issues, you will put a red flag pin on the map, but we are in the same place, so you may override it. This is a simple SS call.
That's all for us from our end.
Thank you very much. Who's next? We have 2 teams, right? These guys were going to show. You guys should show something as well? Or not? Yes. Okay, you guys go. But let's try to be really quick. And then, okay, I'll talk about them afterwards. But I want to see you also as a Google Drive link. I want to save the files so that for future classes, I want to show, okay, these are the projects that were done and so on. So, because I think, we've had really nice projects, I mean, like you guys implemented a lot of stuff on the UI, especially, and with the database as well. Figuring out Google Maps integration, and it's a lot of work. All the directions and offline map.
So this is the app that we have. This is the login page after the splash screen that comes. Basically, user enters.
Click login so that.
It shows the validation error since there are no input fields.
I think you can pass that. Just go to the full functionality because the logins we've seen a lot. Everybody got the login perfectly right. So yeah, that's an animation.
Login. So these are the sports pages that we have in the application. When you go for a sports event, this is the softball game. These are the events created by the users.
You already granted location service.
We already have. I already have this location. So if I want to change location, I'm gonna click this and so let's say. So since New York is far away, you can't see the locations that are.
There aren't any locations in New York, so it's not showing.
Or there aren't any
games in the New York.
That's 100 kilometer radius. Ideally, if we have more time, we should be able to change it.
That's okay.
And then these are the unavailable games that are already full after the
If the slots available are more than 0, it will show on the other side of the toggle. If you cannot register to it, you'll see it. And it will only show the future events that are happening.
So
once I click on the register, this is you going to the game. This will, you can either click on the button or it'll automatically reload it to your My Games page. This is the page where the user registered games will be displayed over here. And if I'm hosting any game, then this will be the place where the form will be there. And this one I can edit. Let's change the location. And then update. I can update, and then it'll change here to San Francisco. And so we do have a lot of sports events, and then the history page is when you join the game, and it's kind of in the past. And then
we'll have to go to the database and change the date
so we can show you the files. And then this is the edit profile page. We have the image picker here to upload images.
It's using storage, Firebase storage.
The image is stored in Firebase.
Very good.
And then we have the edit profile image, edit profile where just the user can change his name because we don't want to change the email since we planned on working on Google authentication.
Yeah.
Image.
And then we can delete the image as well. That automatically shows you the first initial letter of the user. And then you can delete the account as well. So if I try to log in again with the same credentials,
Okay, but when you delete the account, what about there's an event that the user has, other people have registered to,
It's gone.
It's gone.
and what are those users going to receive? Are they going to receive a notification?
Right now, there's
No.
notification.
The event collection will still show because it's a separate thing, but it just won't have the host in it.
So a hostless
The
event.
game will be.
Anyway, I'm just pulling your leg. Okay,
Yeah.
it's something to think about. It's a, yeah, okay.
And just incorrect username or password since there's no.
Yeah, the thing is, this deleting thing is a major headache. So
And this is a
these type of things.
It's a sign up page, and we also have the reset password that basically sends a reset link to your mail that is there with your account. That's
Very good.
basically much of it.
Thank you.
If you want, you can also test the location. From San Francisco, if you pick San Francisco, you're not going to see Gilroy games.
Okay.
Because it's farther than 100. But if you change your location to Santa Clara University, then you see it because it's within the radius.
But we did it with New York.
Yeah, they went too far. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. All right, who's next? Okay, but let's try to keep it 5 minutes because you only have to show them, and then you guys have class, and then I'll talk for 5 minutes, and then. So, you guys have exam next week? One exam?
Is today our last class? Is today our last class?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No,
What?
no exam in this one, so you're lucky.
We just have to do the video walking through the app.
Yes, please. And you have to do the survey.
Yeah, I'll finish it.
We should be submit the video.
Well, the video, you should put it on YouTube first of all as an unlisted, so you can show it to, send it to your friends, job stuff. But if you can save it in Google Drive and send it to me so I can download it.
Through email.
Yeah, through email. Or upload it as a link to the
Assignment.
assignment, yeah.
Yeah, there's an assignment.
A Google Drive link, so I can download it. So upload your slides, your GitHub link, and the video link, yeah. So that then I will do the final grading. But I'll talk about it in a second, so let's just finish the presentation.
Okay, so it starts the animation.
Nice, coming from the right, left.
And we enter the account.
We also update the UI. It's better now.
It looks nice. So this is a plate with a thing and running.
Yeah.
Whose idea was this?
He chose the image. Yeah.
That's a nice one.
Yeah, I love that.
I like it. It's very cute.
Yes. So we enter the.
So we first fixed the overflow problem last time.
You did?
Yeah. And also we add a validation before the confirmation. So if the user's address is empty or the user is just newly created, it will pop up an alert to alert that you have to update your address first.
Okay.
And also we put all of our chief's information on the Firestore. Yeah.
Ah, so you in 2 days you've completely updated the app.
Yeah.
Wow.
How can I show you? Oh, okay. Here.
Wait, why are they Chinese?
Yeah. Here, the address is not having an overflow problem yet.
Yeah, I see the dots at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you use expanded? Yeah. And it worked?
Yeah,
Nice.
it worked.
And also map it just works fine to
Very nice.
that's all of updates from the thing.
That's it, yeah?
Yeah, that's it.
It looks really clean and, you know, user friendly. And Priya, Jia, Yuan, Jang, you guys can go. Because we've got everybody, right? You guys don't need to go, we have finished. Wow. That was a major improvement in 48 hours. Wow. That's amazing.
Okay, so we demoed last time, but we added some more features. So it's logged in right now. I'm gonna log out. Okay.
I saw an error.
Oh, it's gonna rerun. Okay, so this is the notification.
We fix the overflow for the login page.
This is the login. Okay, so on the home page, it says hello Remy. Remy would be the name that's associated with the account, and it totals up how much you've spent, and it tells you the date you're currently on right now. On the bar chart, this is the income that you made that day, but it's not included in how much you spent, but it's still shown on the bar graph. And we talked about this last time. It shows different colors for different categories and just how much you spent that day, and sorted by date. So that's the home page. And Gio, do you want me to talk about transactions? Do you want me to demo, or do you? Okay, so these are the just test cases I made. So currently we've spent a total of $110. If I add and if I add like $30, then I make it a transaction that happened today. It'll be added to the total here and also added on the bar graph, and it will also be added to the pie chart over here. And then this pie chart, I added a feature that allows you to select the date. So if we only want to see, let's say, things from December, we just select it, and then it'll only show the transactions that happened in December. And if I just return it to its original, this is the total.
Very nice.
And yeah, animations are incorporated on this page. When I click on it, it expands. Yeah, that's the animation I did here. And over here, if you want to talk about the name.
Yeah, over here, the name now is connect with the Firebase database. So if I added the name here with lowercase Remy.
Basically, you can change the name from
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the profile, like the homepage name will also change. Yeah, one thing we update with the database is that now it's based on user. So the database will send each user's email and the password and then their transactions.
Did you want to talk about the?
Yeah. So now all the functions actually work. So you can actually use dark mode.
No. It still freezes.
Oh.